Welcome to episode 7 of Cinder, Shire, the video game devlog. If you're unaware or haven't seen any of the other videos, this is basically a series of videos where I'm recording my progress of me converting a tabletop board game into a video game. Since the last video, there have been two major additions to the game, one of which being the Consumables UI. I know I had a light version of this implemented, but in this version I've implemented a sort of better foundation and understanding of how it's going to work. Basically, it's going to be a slide viewer where on the inside of the slide viewer, you have all your consumable cards, and then you can scroll up and down through the consumable cards. And then the idea is that you're going to click on each of the consumable cards as if they were a button. That's going to trigger their condition and or other like UI elements that you might need to do, or like maybe a dungeon selection screen. What depending on what the card actually does is the idea. The second major addition is the implementation of the player select screen. So I know I showed this off again previously, but I've rebuilt that so that now it's dynamically creating it based on what player passes in the input to trigger this UI sort of thing. And I'm not sure if I want to continue with this 3D in-game sort of selection screen, or if I want to do something a lot more flat and simple where it just shows the JPEGs of the characters' icons. So feedback on that would be great if you want to leave that in the comment what you would prefer. I know it's kind of hard to necessarily think about how I'm thinking of the JPEG interaction. Maybe in the next video I'll have both interactions available and I'll let y'all be able to vote on it. A few minor additions other than those two have been, one, I've added the models for the characters. So as you can see in the background gameplay that they actually all look like different models. I'll do a little video of like me going around the individual models to get y'all a closer look at them. Another thing is I've fixed a few bugs. So you may have noticed in the background footage, if you've seen one of the previous videos, the characters would flicker to the top and always end their movement pointing in the same direction. Now they maintain their previous rotation that they ended on, like that they were moving in. So like if you're going to the left, the character is going to remain looking in the left until they move again. This was caused by a very interesting bug that's kind of known in the Unity community that was a very simple fix, because what was happening was the way the player paths is it has its model's position and the position it wants to move, and as it moves towards that position, it takes the difference of those two. So when it has a multiple nodes in a path, I guess is how you would put it. Once its position is equal to the position it wants to get to, the subtraction of that yields a zero vector basically, which has magnitude 0, which causes an error to arise in the method that Unity uses for rotations. Thanks for watching episode 7, and if you haven't watched any of the other ones, I would highly encourage you to. It's kind of cool to see how the game has progressed, and you can kind of understand my opinions on some of these things and what I'm actually building here. I know I'm not very straightforward with some of this stuff, but leave comments. And also I love to see, I see that people are starting to get a little more traction on these videos. I'd love to see y'all's opinions on certain aspects of the game. I'm trying to not go too far from the initial board game design, but like I was talking earlier about the player selection, like there's some things when it's coming to like UI implementation and like that stuff's all like on the table basically, because it's mostly just a preference thing, and as long as it shows the flow of the game is working, like UX is basically what that is. Like, does everything make sense? Does it make sense that I click this then that? Do I move my cursor over here? Does it make sense that how I'm interacting with the world? But as always, I'd like to thank you for watching, and if you want to stay up to date on Spin It Games and the Cinder, Shire, the video game devlog, and all things Spin It Games related, feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel or follow me on Twitter or Facebook. I'm on those locations as well. Thanks for watching and have a good day.